Lakshmi Namahe. Yo, 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 how are you today? There is no today, there's only now. I know you probably already know that. So today I'm going to make a little live second video about cannabis. And it also is about other touchy subjects, emotional subjects that touch a chord and strike a chord and touch a heartstring for many people. Some of you know who are watching this now. Actually, there's nobody watching this now. Okay, there's one person watching it now. But anyone watching it for real may have noticed me post about cannabis in the last month or so. I just wanted to learn. I asked open questions. I based it on my experience from either my own experience with it, which is, not extensive, but I have a little bit just to check it out for myself. And my watching of others and watching and just seeing how it affects others, people I know, okay? Some people may have thought I'm against it or judging it. Many people got triggered and reactive emotionally and mentally, and maybe reactive in behaviourally by making a comment which was trying to defend cannabis. Right now I want to say I'm definitely not against or for. I'm not against cannabis. I'm not promoting it either. I'm definitely not against it. I want to be clear that I won't even in this video say what I've learned about it, which is quite a lot. I've watched Teal Swan. I'd recommend her video on it. It's a really good one, balanced and fair and non-emotional. It's very rational and fair. Teal Swan. But what I want to say right now is that people react and get hurt and upset because they don't want to feel like somebody's judging them. So why did people react to my post? Because there was definitely a tinge more, at least, even though I was trying to say I want to be fair and balanced too. I was pointing out some of the negatives that can happen to some people. I was just sharing that because a lot of people seem to think you just get relaxed, but what I wanted to share is it depends on the person. Many people, and in relationships where one or two people having cannabis, it can affect some people in a way that doesn't turn out to be positive, okay? Some people, it can affect them not good. There's so many people saying how good it is and how it affects them great or positive, but I've come across so many people who've now mentioned on YouTube and Facebook, so many, my friends, they say it affects or affected them really badly, especially if they take it regularly or ongoingly. I'd say the biggest two things I want to say is, one, it affects everybody differently, and two, the best thing not to do is take it every day or every second day. Try and space it out once a week, once a month, once a season, a few times a year. And even Terence McKenna, who's huge on psychedelics and on cannabis and mind-altering substances, recommends that at the very most take it once a week and take loads of it. But he's huge onto bending your reality. I'm just more like a microdoser or a small taker of anything ever in general. I don't like to affect myself, but everybody's different. So I've done a little bit of psilocybin, and I like that the most of anything I've ever done. As a teenager, I took too much alcohol, and it just has negative effects and got me sick. I took cannabis a few times with alcohol as a teenager, and that just gave me the greenies where I vomited and felt sick. When I've taken edible cannabis, it had a huge effect on me. I was like laying in my home, laying around, not able to move or do much. But if I smoke cannabis, it always just makes me have too quiet of a mind. Teal Swan says if cannabis, the vibration of cannabis is higher than you, it'll boost up your vibration, and if the vibration of cannabis is lower than your vibration, you can get paranoid or some negative symptoms. It also depends on the strain and the quality and how well it was grown, the soil, the toxins, the sprays, if it's altered too much, if it's too hybridized, if it's too naturally strong, if it's all those type of thing. It depends on the person and past trauma, in my opinion too. it can sometimes bring up things that have been you're holding onto and not expressing in a relationship, and it comes out being expressed too loosely and raggedly and too carelessly, and that can create relationship conflict a lot potentially. It depends on people how reactive or conscious and carefully responding they are. So yeah, like I said, like I'm not against it, and I'm not promoting it. Just use it wisely is what I'd say, and use it ceremoniously, use it intentionally, with an intention and a purpose, a spiritual reason before you start it. And like I said at the beginning, and that's the reason why I made this video, is that nobody wants to think like you're coming around judging them. Like, no one wants to think that I'm going around saying cannabis is bad. Like, people will get like, nobody wants to feel ashamed of themselves if they're doing something bad and wrong or dirty, you know. And that's not what I'm here to say. And I'm here to say, let's not do that as well. Like, let's not shame or blame or wrong others. Let's take responsibility and go within first and foremost, and manage our reactions and responses, and take our power back. And what's the word? See how positively or negatively we are responding or reacting and affecting a situation, for the better or worse, or for the really better or for the really worse. We are divine, powerful co-creators, my friend, and creators especially. So let go of the wronging and the blaming, like I said a minute ago, just to remind you it's vitally important, and take responsibility. And if you're going to wrong or blame anyone, wrong and blame yourself for your reactions, but don't take it to heart and let go of it, and just be more intentional and take your power back. Don't behave on fear, and be a powerhouse of love and light, and careful, intentional, properly envisioned creation of what you want to experience and bring forth to the table for others, and their experience coming from you carefully, instead of knee-jerk, reactively wronging, blaming, etc. Okay, so look at yourself. And if something is absolutely crazy and wild, you can do exactly what I'm saying now and just leave the situation without crazy explosions and bombs being dropped on each other. And that's definitely a noble art and an honourable way to change a situation. And you never have to never try and change anybody, because it doesn't work. You can't do it, so there's no point in trying. And we all try. I'm coming from, and I'm just getting out of this at the moment, the whole trying to change anybody. Change yourself. That's the secret. So the best thing that can happen really is change yourself, and you change the situation for the way better. And the worst thing that can happen is you change yourself and you leave in an unwanted situation, which is still good. That happens only by changing yourself. When we try and change others, we just get frustrated and upset, and others get frustrated, angry and upset too. Yeah, it's also breaching other people's free will. So we don't want to do that. We don't even bother to go there or to try. We want to let that go on the spiritual path of ascension, raising our frequency and vibration and consciousness. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, my friends, give this video a share if you're inspired, and I'll see you again in my other videos. And feel welcome to leave your comments, your awesome thoughts, and your amazing talented gifts on my page or my videos, and say hi and connect with others and have a discussion as desired. Lots of love. Have a beautiful now and day always.